testing Levante. Everyone clap your hands like this.
Hi Kevin, great gig, great.
Oh,
Was it your first time in Italy? No,
No.
you were in Milan, isn't it?
Oh, we've been a few places. Yeah, Milan, Torino. I couldn't name all of them, but you know.
Doesn't care. Tell us the truth. This was the best one.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's definitely the most beautiful. Yeah, we don't really get to come to places like this.
You enjoyed the place, the sea, the beachy.
Yeah, we got here in the morning and we just got outside the tour bus and saw the place. You know, we went for a swim and had a drink on the water. Yeah, we all needed like a good swim, you know, to just revitalize us. You know, touring can be really hard.
You toured, you performed in the greatest festivals in Europe in the past months. What was the feeling in a place so different, in a small place like this, like a shell, we can say?
I think it just makes it more special. I mean, even the greatest festivals in the world, they all start to look the same. You know, they all start to have the same kind of vibe and everything. And so after a while, you just really appreciate when you play somewhere that the people they're just happy to see you because, you know, I guess like bands don't come to these kind of places all the time. You know, just smaller towns, not like big cities or whatever. So it makes us feel more kind of welcome.
Next is a curiosity of mine because you know there are those websites where everybody discuss about the meanings of the songs, you know. What about elephant? Who is elephant?
Elephant, I think. Well, it's kind of just it ended up being about this kind of personality, like someone who's just a super big, you know, big ego, you know, who just walks around thinking he's really great. You know, and sort of showing how great he is. You know, there's just everyone knows that kind of person that is inside, deep down, they're quite insecure and quite fragile. And it's just a song about that kind of person. You know, I think everyone knows one of those people. You know, whether you went to school with them or like if you work with them, something like that. You know, they're just big blown out people.
Tonight, too, everybody went crazy totally about the graphic things and the lights and the colors. How much is important this part in your gigs?
I guess it's come to be a really important part, just because you know, the more crazy you get with the live show and the more stuff that goes on, you start to get used to it. You know. So when it's not there, you're like, oh, where's all the colours? You know, but we used to play shows where we didn't have that stuff. We just had just some white light, you know.
I appreciated that you colored also the amp and the drums with the tapes, the color tapes. How it come that you make these drawings, these strange drawing?
I think it's a combination of one, boredom. You know, well, we wait around a long time before gigs, and so you know, we have lots of time to spare basically. So I may as well just be painting colours on the stage. And the other thing is that I get a kick. I really like to see stages like a rock band that looks sort of a bit different to just the standard rock band, you know, because amplifiers are just these big black boxes, you know, they're not very pretty. And there's always tape lying around because the stage guys use it to put on the floor. They use it for practical purposes. but you know, it looks just as cool when you can like stick it on stuff and make crazy shapes.
And how did you approach the psychedelic rock when you was a child? I think.
When I was a child, I don't know. I guess I didn't really know about much of it. You know, I knew about like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and stuff, if that's even psychedelia, and the Doors, I guess. But it was only when I got older and started to understand, or I started to appreciate music that was like beyond music. You know, there's more about changing your headspace or something.
Are you working on some other album, some other works?
Yeah, all the time. But it's difficult to say when or what or how, because I do recordings all the time, but I'm not necessarily thinking about it as being the next like TAME IMPALA release. You know, it can be anything, a different band, different thing. I don't know.
And do you need that TAME IMPALA needs to innovate its sound or not?
I don't think it's a need, but if you're always doing exactly what you want, it'll happen naturally, because no one ever wants to do the same thing twice. No one ever wants to.
Because this is it seems to be the perfect recipe, and so it's difficult to decide to change something.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I think it's difficult to just stay with what you have, you know, because if you're concerned about pleasing people or pleasing someone else that likes the stuff before, you know, then you might be worried about changing. But if you just look inside yourself and see that, you know, you as a person are growing and your tastes are growing, it'll happen supernaturally, you know. Like naturally, I mean, like, yeah, it'll happen naturally.
Is it still enjoying touring and to do the job you're doing?
Yeah, in fact, we were just talking today about how touring itself, like what we do, is like a miracle of occupation, you know, because for somehow we've got ourselves into a job where we just travel around in new places all the time and do what we love, and we don't, you know, we're working really hard. We're, you know, sort of we're always doing stuff, so it can be tiring, but we're still doing what we love. So it's weird that we have this job, you know, that we're just doing exactly what we want.
Thank you.